Even though most of us are not engineers, mathematicians, or etc., we're not social scientists, we're not critical historians, we don't have PhDs in history and the social sciences. Even so, we could still do some things. We could start to approach that issue of separating religion and culture by just being introspective, by asking ourselves the question, what if? Are we doing something wrong? What things might we be doing wrong? We could start saying what things in this religion are more tradition and what things are essential. Because we are trying to take this religion to the second and third generation and converts and non-Muslims. And when we do that, we don't want to burden them with a lot of extra things. We want to only take them to the essentials, because if you add something that is not essential, you're going to draw them away from the religion. You're going to obscure the truth. Then it's not the press that is driving those people away from the religion. It is not some it's not some Western conspiracy that is preventing them from seeing the truth of Islam. It is us. For how many people in this country is the truth of Islam obscured by practices and notions that we have no explicit divine warrant? All those traditions, if we impose them on people, however small, they could be a barrier between them and the truth of Islam. And the Quran criticizes this. It says in no uncertain terms, have you considered what provisions God has sent down for you, and how you made some of it haram and some of it halal of your own making? Say, has God indeed permitted you? Or do you invent a lie concerning God? It was talking to the mushrikeen, people who associate with God that which is not of God. They make something sacred that God specifically did not enjoin. And it criticizes them for that. And it says in another verse, and say not for anything you invent, this is halal and this is haram, so that you invent a lie against Allah. Because when you do that, you commit, as we all know, shirk. Associating with God that which is not of God. The problem with any kind of shirk, making something sacred that God has not made sacred, the problem with that is you obscure the truth. And you place a barrier between the truth and that person. And give them an excuse and a reason not to even consider your religion. That's the problem. And the Quran gives trivial, almost seemingly trivial examples. It criticizes in a very harsh way the Meccan polytheists because they used to slit the ears of cattle. It condemns them for that, for doing that without any divine warrant. Maybe you think it's small, but later on for another person that could be give him a reason to dismiss your faith. Oh, look at that. Look what they do. Oh, I can't consider that religion. That can't be the truth. That's ridiculous. Quran gives many examples of that nature. I'll give you a very simple one. The term Son of God. The Jews say that Ezra is the Son of God. The Christians say Jesus is the Son of God. That is the saying with their mouths, imitating the statements of disbelievers of old. What's the problem here? Well, in the mouth of the Jews, yes, they called Ezra the Son of God. They called many other Jews the Son of God. In Jewish history, in Jewish terminology, that means one who is loved by God. One who has a special relationship, a special affinity to God. It doesn't have a literal meaning. This terminology, which had no divine warrant, no explicit divine warrant, when it came to Christianity, began to be taken literally. Jesus is the Son of God. God the Son, second person of the Trinity. Do you know there are millions, tens of millions of people in the West that are now atheists and agnostics exactly because of that? They think the statement doesn't make sense. So by just introducing a terminology like that without any divine warrant has created a huge barrier between people and realizing the relationship with God. And now if we look to the Quran, we'll find that 3% are commands and prohibitions, divine commands and prohibitions. 97% of the Quran teaches ethics, the relationship between God and man, the purpose of life, morality, other truths as well. The history of nations in the past teaches us how to be self-critical, how to use reason and faith, the extreme importance of using reason and faith, teaches many, many major themes. You know what I was taught when I became a convert? Rules, rules, rules. If I hadn't studied this religion myself and entered this religion and all I received were rules, 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 I would have left it the next day. Thank God I read the Quran first. If we're going to draw these indigenous people, our own children, that second, third, and fourth generation, those converts and non-Muslims into this religion, let us begin by following the model established by God himself through his prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. As he once said to Mu'adh bin Jabal, he said, first teach them that there is no God but God, and that Muhammad is his messenger. And when they have fully understood that, then teach them how to pray. And when they become consistent in that, and they've developed in that fully, then teach them about fasting during Ramadan. And then once they've accomplished that, then teach them what? About paying zakat and making the hajj. And so forth and so on. He said, make things easy for people and do not make them difficult, and inform them of the glad tidings and do not repulse them. Do we practice that here? I don't mind telling the people what are the Muslim behaviors or whatever. But that's become we are obsessed with only that. I've attended Friday prayers for 20 years now in this country. And every Friday it's the same thing. The speeches are either political, about Muslim politics, or they're about rules and regulations, or somebody's diatribe about, problems going on in the Muslim community. They never discuss the other 97% of the Quran. And be tolerant. When we bring people into our community, don't expect them to become Middle Easterners or, Arabs or Pakistanis or Sri Lankans the next day or ever even. Give them time to grow into the religion. Give them the right to question. Give them time to develop. The Quran gave them 13 years in Mecca, and then slowly but surely brought them along after that. Let's follow the Mecca plan. Let's just give it a try. I'm talking to the parents. I'm talking to the young Muslim men and women, the few of you that are here today. I'm talking to that second generation. I'm talking to those converts. Please just do it. And the rest of the community, instead of slandering them and complaining about them and making up all sorts of strange slanders and gossip about them, just give them your support. Give them your support. Know that those people are on a mission to take this message to the greater community. And may Allah bless you and your children and your children's children.